personally. And I'm like, but that's what the kids are into. And he had to go out and experience it and say, okay, I have to get Mr. Magic in here to do this for me, because I don't know anything about this and I don't want to deal with these cats, but we have to get the top guy that deals with it, and we'll bring him in and he'll deal with that. But prior to that, there was nothing. There was college radio stations and some local stations that were doing it, and they were very important because that was the only thing that we had. But the opportunity to be on TV, to get your music heard, and through the medium of television was incredible. To have that going on, it was like the importance of Soul Train. Soul Train was very important to all of us. We had to have that. And there was a time when Don Cornelius wasn't playing no hip hop on the show, and it took a couple of the guys, the dancers that we always used to see that were kind of hip, and say, yo, Don, you got to add some of this stuff. You got to bring Houdini here. You got to bring Eric B. and Rakim here. You got to bring Run DMC here. And so that combination of things happening, without that, people wouldn't have got the experience. Advertisers wouldn't have been open to do a lot of these things that they've done in hip-hop, Sprite. So, yeah. So, and in current days, there's not a big window for the new music that gets on MTV and BET. Where else are you going to go? You're going to go on the internet. But if you're on the internet, nobody really knows you're on the internet. You have to have somewhere to kind of get it started at. So they still want to come to Video Music Box if you're a new artist and get your thing going. And a lot of times I think that people use it as a stepping stone and don't respect it later on. People will say it. Fat Joe, oh, if it wasn't for Ralph, I wouldn't get started. Or Jay-Z, if it wasn't for Ralph McDaniels, that's all we had, But, it's like, can I call them up and get them to do a show for me right now? That's the part I don't like, because I don't think I can. They sometimes forget. And I don't think this is just a characteristic of hip-hop. I think it's a characteristic of the artist. So any artists out there listening to it need to remember that, these are the places. I do it because I really enjoy the music. I really do. It's like, it's not like I said, yo, pay me, I'm not Alan Freed. I didn't say, like, pay me $50,000, back in the, how we used to do back in the 50s and all kinds of stuff. I said, like, look, man, I really dig the music, and I want to present, just like you're presenting to your audience right now. I want to present the music, and I want to present something fresh, something cool that the audience feels good about, and I feel good about because I feel good about it, and they come back and they listen again, and what's next, That's why we do this, and we're pure at what we do. It's strictly for the love of listening to music and enjoying an experience or what a person has to say. I'm still there.
Do you think it's that kind of pure spirit that's helped you to endure over the years?
Absolutely. I think that if I wasn't as pure as I was, because people feel the passion in me, and sometimes people go, like I'll go to a program director and they go, oh, he really likes this, what he does. So, okay, all right. We don't meet too many people that really enjoy it. There's a lot of people that work in hip-hop now. They're just there because there's money in hip-hop. They're not there because they like hip-hop. I really enjoy it. So that's what it is.
You did say earlier that you could be found in the clubs today still.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little much, but I still enjoy going out because I want to get the experience. I want to see what's new, what's fresh, what's the new dance, what's the new movement, vibe that's coming out of the club, because there's so many different things. There's the dancing, there's the chanting on the mic, there's the music, the way the DJ's cutting up the music. There's a whole rhythm that I want to be part of, and I don't want to ever lose that.
Just going back a little bit as to the commonalities between, let's say, dance hall and hip-hop. Just like hip-hop, I remember, not that I was there physically, but I understand that in Jamaica, reggae was a no-no. Not even dance hall reggae, but the dance hall was the place where you heard reggae music.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's funny is that you say that. It's like, dance hall, reggae. It was like ghetto music. And what's funny is that I did an interview with Dizzy Gillespie, before he passed away, and he told me that jazz was considered ghetto music.
And I think the devil's music?
Right. Because I asked him about hip-hop, and he says, well, it's like jazz, brother. It's considered the ghetto music, that dirty music. And that's what they think.
Now let me flip it a little bit. Since you've given all kinds of artists a break, do you think that Video Music Box might have played some kind of a role in the demise of certain hip-hop artists in the temporary marginalization of the genre because you might have shown videos that don't necessarily place the artist and the genre in the most positive light?
I don't know if we played that role. We might have, let me think about what artists, or do you have any artists in mind?
I'm not going to be the one to say that.
You brought it up now. Come on.
I know the downsides of the wrong kind of holla. Well, I mean, just pick an artist who has profanity and maybe the uncut version of my favorite, Mrs. Police Officer.
Oh, no, yeah. No,
soon.
I would say it there's certain commercial stuff, like, let's say, Hammer, that was really, really commercial over the top. But I think people liked MC Hammer because he was passionate about it. But after a while, the record companies just screw it all up, and they keep putting out different versions, and it just became really commercial, and people got tired of the videos. And MC Hammer was a really good friend of mine. He came here to New York, and I was like, after a while, I was like, we can't hear this anymore. People are really tired of this. And it was probably because of the video, because he's from the West Coast. He wasn't from here. And so it hurt, certain artists, there's certain hardcore stuff right now that the kids just don't want to hear it. It's like, come on, man. We know you did drugs. We know you grew up in the projects. We know your father wasn't there. We know that already. What's next? They don't want to hear that in the rap anymore. It's like, it's when keeping it real goes wrong. It's like, that's enough. No more. What's next? Okay, we understand that happened. So what are you going to do about it? What's the solution? You
told me that you were involved in some type of anti-violence campaign. Can you expand on that?
I was touched by the death of a 13-year-old kid in Queens, New York. Kevin Miller was his name. And I heard, the story, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I know a woman that works in Queens. She's an advocate. She has a thing called Life Camp, Erica Ford. And she told me that she knew the mom, and, would you be interested in interviewing the mom? And I said, okay. And the mom's name is Donna Hood Greaves. And we got together with Donna, Erica Ford, and Salt from Salt and Pepper, the group Salt and Pepper. And we did an interview, and basically, because I saw it was the women, I kind of stayed out of the interview, and I let the women kind of run this, which the women are always there first to nurture these type of situations. They just know what to do, And so, I said, you know what, let me just keep myself out of this and let them do what they do. And they sat down, Donna, Salt, and Erica sat down, and they talked about, first she talked about her son. Donna talked about her son, good kid, went to Bible studies, went to school every day, first year in high school. She was nervous about him going to high school because up to that point she had driven him, or she had a private bus that would take him back and forth to school. This was the first time him kind of rolling out on his own as high school. So she drove him to school, then he came home on his own. 2 weeks into the high school year, he was killed by a stray bullet from some guys shooting at each other. He was on his way to McDonald's with some friends, and just boom, his life was taken away, just like that. So one of her wishes was, I wanted to have a scholarship in his name because he definitely wanted to go to school. He wanted to go to college, and maybe we can set up a scholarship fund, Kevin Miller Scholarship Fund in his name, that we can send someone to a needy person and help them go to college. And so I said, well, I'll be down to, help get involved with that. So she was like, well, that would be great. So we talked about it on air. I also raised a quick $2,500 to be, okay, let's put this into this pot, and I'm going to go to hip-hop artists and people, tastemakers and whatever, and say, okay, at least match it. If you can, match it, $2,500 that I put up already. Some of you rappers make way more than me, so you guys should be able to put up a little bit more, and let's see what we can come up with to help Donna Hood Greaves put together this Kevin Miller Scholarship Fund. So here in New York City, we have a dinner which we just got the Source magazine, and my good friend Londell McMillan, who represents a bunch of people like Michael Jackson's family and all these different people. I just brought him on board. Russell Simmons is on board. Hot 97 radio station is on board. Michael Strahan, formerly of the New York Giants, is on board. We're bringing the hip-hop community and just entertainment community in general together for a dinner, and also have them on board to do testimonials to young people to see how everybody is affected by what you do in that split second, and think it through a little bit more. That's what it's all about. And,
that sort of thing is important for the music industry or artists to be involved with, because we all need a little bit of humbling, even if it's through a second party.
Absolutely. People forget. I do. Get out there in the clubs, and especially the men, we get a little aggressive and things start happening. and you forget for that split moment, you know, and that moment could change a whole bunch of people's lives, you know, not just yours. You know, it affects, you know, so many different people. So we have to start thinking about it and thinking it through. Erica Ford has her organization called burythebeef.com. www.burythebeef.com. If you don't have $2,500 or whatever it is, and you just want to donate $1, you could go there and burythebeef.com, and it's a cool organization, and she's involved in it from a ground roots level, and it's